This is Boxing Tickets NA in association with our prize guy. We are back on Zoom once again with the BUI Celtic Super Bantamweight champion, Paul, the boxer, Loonam. How are you, mate?
All good, Steve. Thanks for having me on.
It's my
Um,
pleasure. We're getting too used to this. Like, obviously, I bumped into you in Gerard last week. Obviously, you're up supporting Bio and Kelsey, and we obviously planned. Then we'll do an interview. So, are you getting sick of the sight of me yet, Paul?
no, I haven't seen you in a while, Stephen. So it was good to see you last weekend, and it's good to be back on. So thank you for the platform. You're doing great things as well, and it's great to, see you come back from the struggles you had with the channel and stuff, and to get the support and sponsorship to help you continue to do that. And it gives us a great platform as well to kind of springboard off. So big hats off to you, Stephen. I appreciate it.
I appreciate the kind words. I guess probably Paul, the best place to start 4 weeks from today. Like I guess when you probably started this journey last April, I think it was, you made your debut. See, I mean,
Yeah,
I told before we started, we go off the
last
cuff.
April.
I'm sort of now having to go, when was the debut here? I'm sort of looking at myself and
Last
go,
April, yeah.
last April. So like
Yeah.
they think of 16 months, 17 months into your professional debut. Did you ever think you'd be fighting this early on in the three arena?
Um, No, to be honest, not really. Look, I was just taking it as it came, and there was an opportunity. I thought there was an opportunity to fight in the three arena before on the Callum Walsh card, but that was shut down then after a couple of weeks. But look, I just want to say a big thanks to Jay Byrne. He's doing great things for me and for all the lads in the stable, and he's after coming with this opportunity for me. And look, it's a great platform to box on. It's telling people that I'm boxing in the three arena, they're buzzing for me. So look, it's great. I just have to get in and get the job done and push on from there. Hopefully, look good doing it as well.
I guess in some ways, when people seen your amateur talents, Paul, and obviously you were turning over, there was sort of maybe people weren't aware of obviously who Jay and Stig and JB Promotions were. Like this is sort of the blueprint that they're given use as fighters now. It's testament to the fact to go, this is why we signed with JB Promotions because we're getting these opportunities. It's like, and when you think on it, within 18 months of being a professional boxer, you've got your first belt, you're fighting in the three round on a Michael Conlan undercard. Like the proof's all in the pudding there. Jay's not one of these people that talks a game and doesn't back it up. He's backing up everything he's saying to you.
Yeah, well, that's for sure, and he has shown that since I joined the stable. Like when I first sat down with Jay, he was telling me these things, and he was pushing, and he was going to try to do his best for me. But there was no Thriller TV then. There was no national stadium shows. It was in the pipeline, and Jay was talking to me about his plans. But I trusted him in his plans. He said, "Look, I'm going to try get you on this show. Try get you in the Tree Arena if you can." And he's over delivered. Like everything he said, he's done and more. So look, it was I put my trust in Jay for that, and he's after over delivering to every one of his fighters. So it's just big thanks to Jay. And like even when I first joined the stable, they've done I think two shows previously in the Red Cow, and then from since they had that show that I boxed on, the last show in the stadium, they have another one coming up. They have their fighters out and active 24/7. So look, they have big time boxing back in the south of Ireland, which is great. And it's a big hats off to Jay, the whole team, Butch, and all the lads.
And obviously Michael Conlan undercard as well. Like that's, other than probably Katie Taylor, it's the one you would sort of look to be on an undercard of. So in some ways, with the Callum Walsh card didn't come off last September, it's probably worked out in some ways for the better for you because the exposure. I think Mick's last fight on Channel 5, there was over 3 million tuning in to watch. So the perfect platform for you as a young fighter coming through to go and put myself in the shop window for sponsors for big promotions because Jay's your manager and everything else, but if Eddie Hearn and Matchroom or Frank Warren and Queensberry Promotions come in and we want to sign this young guy, Jay can still manage you. They can just promote you.
Exactly, yeah, no, it's great. Look, he's doing great things, and to be on a Mick Conlan undercard in the Tree Arena, going into my sixth fight is it's unbelievable, and it's look, I think this is the platform, and these are the platforms I need to be on to get where I want to go. And I'm saying that to Jay, and he's delivering it straight to me. So, look, big thanks to the lads. It's great, and look, it's going to be a cracker of a night then in the Tree Arena.
And you can see the sort of butterflies are sort of starting on you there already. Like, do you would it be right to say you'd be nervous walking out in the three ring of Paul because the it's the biggest obviously arena in the south other than Croke Park. So in some ways it'd be fair. Like you've been in there watching the boxing, like it's fair to say of the butterflies walking out and going like you just can't believe it's sort of you now making this walk yourself.
Yeah, look, it's gonna be amazing. The nerves for the debut and in the Red Cow was like they were the biggest nerves I've had for any fight. Um, the small hall shows, everyone's packed in, you can hear the noise, you can barely hear your corner shouting instructions and stuff. So I'd say it will be a little bit different because people will be spread out and it's a bigger venue. So, but yeah, look, we'll just have to see. I like to visualize before I'm in there to just kind of, my brain has been through it. I know, visualizing walking out of the tree, walking out to the ring, and I just like to run through it before I actually do it. So it's kind of familiar to me.
I was just going to say that because obviously before you made your debut in the Red Cow, you'd went about and walked the walk you were going to make. Will you do the same in the three ring and fight week? You'll sort of where's the changing rooms? Where am I going to be this? You obviously have Gary Cully obviously in the camp as well. He's been there and done it as well. So like visualizing that all and bringing it all in the I guess it saves you from thinking sleepless nights ahead of fight night to go, where's my changing rooms? Where do I do this? Where do I do that? It's all going to be in your head ahead of fight night.
Yeah, I like to make myself as familiar with things as I possibly can, like what gloves I'm wearing, the ring walk, what way is it gonna be, if I can get into the ring just to feel the canvas and stuff. Look, I find it helps me and it kind of makes me more familiar with things before I actually get in and do it on the night.
Is it like a superstition sort of thing for you in some ways, Paul?
Sorry, Stephen, I was just getting a call there. Not really. I just feel like when I'm more familiar with things, um, I don't see them after like when I'm putting on the gloves for the first time. It's a fight with them. I'd rather just put them on, see what they're like before I actually have to, get into the ring and fight. So it's yeah, no, I just like to make myself more familiar with things. Sorry, my phone is going bananas there. Just people looking for tickets.
I was just going to come on to the next point there. Obviously, I've seen you got your tickets today, and your phones could be going flat out. People nearly be texting on a daily basis to go, "Where's the tickets? Am I getting my tickets?" They nearly think sometimes you as a fighter are scamming them in a way. I remember selling tickets to people and they're going, "Have I definitely got these tickets? I don't need to go and speak to somebody else." Just calm yourself. They're ordered. They're coming. And now they see they're here. They're going, "Get me my tickets. I want to come and see you now."
Yeah, well, that's it. Look, two missed calls have just come in there, so they're looking to see the tickets here, and a cousin of mine has been messaging me. I think 3 or 4 times this week. Is like he said, "Can I pay you for the tickets now?" I said, "Look, just wait till I get the tickets, and then we can sort it out." So everyone's urgent to get the tickets. But I have the tickets now, and yeah, look, selling the most tickets I've sold in my career. Um, Partially people want to support me, obviously because my dad just passed as well, but also because it's a big show. They're looking forward to the big night in the Three Arena, getting to see Michael Conlan in action and myself as well. So it's a great night for everyone, and it's a good boost for the family with what just happened 4 weeks ago. So
They obviously, hopefully, it's the start of things to come for you in terms of ticket sales. Are going to keep platforming up. Everybody knows, anybody that's seen you in action knows the talent you have. So hopefully, this isn't the ceiling in terms of selling tickets because obviously they're a vital part. But how are you adapting with the ticket sales, particularly selling more this time around? Like, do you have like a structure set in place? Like, I can remember the first time I was sort of tickets, I put them all out on the floor so that because you don't want to be left with a single ticket somewhere. So I put them all out on the
yeah,
floor with envelopes and stuff like that to work it all out. It was like a krypton factor.
yeah. Well, I've learned a lot from my first my first fight. 4 weeks before my fight, we had Gianni. So Carolina had Gianni, and that's my son. And I was so busy trying to be a father for the first time, and I was trying to train for my pro debut and do my tickets as well. So it was a crazy time. I've learned a lot of things from that time, like leaving tickets here, forgetting where the money was for certain tickets. So I'm after learning kind of my structure and how I should do things. And my family's great. Like my sisters and all my cousins and all, they said they'll help me drop tickets around or meet people with tickets and stuff like that. So look, us as a family, we kind of do things together. And they said that if you need a hand with tickets, just give me a shout. So I think my sister's actually doing me tickets now as we speak.
It's nearly a full time job sort of in itself, just with the tickets, because you have to try and meet people at certain times. Like I remember I'd done, I think it was for Frampton Jackson in 2018. I'd sold a pile of tickets up in Korean for people, and I just said to people, "Look, I'm going to be here at this time. Come and meet me." But then in some ways it could have been bad because somebody could have just come and robbed me and taken the money and taken the tickets. I was lucky enough with the fact that there was nobody sort of scouting about there because I think I had quite a lot of money coming back up the road. But I was sort of saying to people, "Come here at a certain time." Like look at Nathan Heaney in Stoke. He's selling, three and a half, 4,000 tickets at a time, and he's actually driving around to people's houses. That's mental.
Yeah, it's mental, but look, he's just trying to give back to the people that are supporting him, and that's what I do as well. I drive around to the houses. I go in, have a cup of tea with the family or the friends that are buying the ticket off me, and look, people just want to feel invested in you. So I like to give back, bring maybe the kids a t-shirt or a poster or something like that to just give back to them because without them people, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. And um, with just this amount of tickets that I said to the guys, I said, you can call over to the house, we'll have a cup of tea if you want. If it suits you, call to my house and a cup of tea, I'll get you the tickets and that's all. And it's nice. And then if they're friends of the family, they get to see my other family members, my mom, my sisters, and stuff like that. So yeah, no, it's good. But
Turns out
yeah,
to be an
it's
all day thing.
huh?
Turns out to be an all day thing. You come over, and the next thing they're making you lunch, and then they're bringing biscuits and stuff out, and you're going, I just came to drop you off the tickets.
Yeah, no, a couple of times that's happened. But look, I don't mind because without them people, as I said, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. Coming from the small hall scene, you have to sell your tickets. And look, hopefully we can continue this and keep selling a good ball of tickets because that will only enhance my opportunities going forward.
You have a familiar opponent, obviously, currently as it stands. Obviously, we know, obviously, Jake Pollard's obviously a very busy fighter. And obviously, we hope that obviously everything goes well for him and any bouts up to them. But a familiar foe in Jake Pollard probably will help to ease in things in the three arena because sometimes if you don't know what your opponent's like, you know exactly what Jake's like. You fought him over 6 rounds before. Is that a good thing for you? You've fought Jake before. I guess you can see the progress you've made since the last time you fought. You know which way he slips from punches. You know you're going to put on an even bigger clinic this time around.
Yeah, well, look, we'll be able to see the Paul Loonam from the first fight with him to now, which I think I've made massive improvements even since my last fight. So we can be able to work on things with Jake that I have been working on since my last fight. I've had quite a gap between my last fight and this fight, so I've been working on a lot of stuff. So I'll be able to implement that. And look, he's a familiar foe. I've boxed him before. Um, but yeah, look, I just have to give him a different look this time and change things up, and I'm sure he'll be doing the same. So, look, it'll be good. Jake's very durable and that, so it'll be nice to see, how far I've came since my last fight with him and see how many levels I can step up from that last fight.
I do obviously have to ask, and obviously I have sort of pre-planned this sort of with you. Obviously, how I know we've spoke personally, but obviously everybody that's sort of messaged you, obviously since the tragic passing of your father, you probably haven't got back to everybody because you're going to have good days, Paul. You're going to have bad days. I know firsthand, but how you, I know when we spoke, 1-to-1 sort of last week, probably there's things that we've said that we wouldn't share online, but how are you coping with the tragic passing of your dad?
Yeah, look, I just want to say a big thank you and a heartfelt thank you to everyone who sent me messages, put some posts up. The Irish Boxing Association done a nice post. The Sunday World, the Irish Times, the Irish Sun as well. They all done really nice write-ups on Dad. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for the kind messages. And look, the amount of messages I received just showed the impact he had on everyone. So um, look, he was critical for me in my boxing career. Um, and look, it's going to be tough without him. It's going to be hard, and especially stepping in there for the first time without him in my corner. Like the only time he was ever not in my corner was when I was representing Ireland. Um, and actually for one of those, he was in my corner as well. So look, it will be tough. It'll be something new, but as I said, I just have to look. I'm training now without him as well, so I think that's going to prepare me to step in and I won't feel like I'm without him in the ring. I'll feel like he's still there beside me, guiding me, helping me through this journey. So we just have to belt on now, and it's a new added motivation for me, to do this for my dad and to do what he really thought I could do, and the belief he had in me. I just have to push that forward onto myself now and kind of do it for him. And yeah, look, it's obviously hard times the last 4 weeks, but looking forward to this Tree Arena show, and it's gonna be a kind of great moment. Hopefully, when I get the win for my family, just to, it's a boost for the family. So, look, it was something. My last conversation to Dad was about the Tree Arena show, and he said to me, he said, "Give me a ring and let me know what the crack is with it." So, we never got to do that, but I'm gonna do this for him and for me as well.
As I'd said to you sort of last week, over time you'll sort of realize obviously why these things sort of happen in life. The good thing for you is, as I said to you last week, is he's not left. He's still going to be there. He's going to be probably sitting on that top rope of your corner, listening in the island, listening to your brother giving you instructions and saying what he's talking about. Paul, just go and do your thing, and that's in your head now. You know that he's always going to be there when times get tough. Probably might be a thing that motivates you more as well. It might bring out an extra 10 or 20% in you because you know that you're fighting in your dad's memory and stuff as well. So it might actually, I know it sounds awkward in a way now, but it might turn out to be a blessing for you in your career.
Yeah, well, look, I do believe everything happens for a reason. With this, I've questioned it, but look, time will tell, and it's definitely a huge motivation for me. Like, I have my own family as well to fight for, but I have this to fight for, and I feel like he'll be there fighting my battles with me. Um, so look, I just have to keep the belief in that and try stay positive, get on with normal life, and I have to train hard. That's what he'd tell me. So I have to just keep ticking away and just work on myself and helping my family and yeah, do right for myself.
I guess obviously your family's been a big thing for you, and obviously sometimes when these things happen, families come together and unite. But even more so the trans is it the Transformers? Is it Bio calls you in Unit 3? Is it the
Avengers is
Transformers?
was it?
Avengers. The
Yeah.
Avengers family are obviously they're building like he's a. I know I keep saying it in everybody's interviews, but he's are really such a big family. Like I guess it showed last week when you were up, obviously supporting Kelsey and her professional debut in Bio's fight. Everybody comes and supports each other, and that's sometimes what family is all about. But they'll obviously have been a big driver for you as well, and keeping you grounded, and probably trying to move on with things, and they're probably just trying to have a laugh. But at the same time, he's trained very hard in Unit 3 as well.
Yeah, look, the crew in Unit 3 and you know even Unit Recovery, all the guys in that community, they've given me great strength during this time. A couple of people that I can relate to from the gym, and um, Niall always has wise words for you as well. So it's great to have that kind of strength and know that they always have my back through good times, hard times, any sort of times. They're always there and have my back. So it's great, and it's a sense of kind of normality then when I go back up there. It's things are different, but we just have to get on and we have to train and we have to work hard. So it's really good, even for a period of time after when I had to be a little bit more closer to home. The guys were coming down and training with me, so they were traveling down from Naas to Tullamore to do sessions with me. So it's the guys are always there in the good times, but also in the bad times, which I'm forever grateful for.
And I guess for you now, you just want to get on with things. You want to try and get back to as much normality as you can. You don't want the awkward sort of people nearly sort of not wanting to say hello to you because they don't want to be bringing things up. You just want to get back to normal and try and keep driving towards greatness as you want to do.
Yeah, but that's it. Look, to be honest, things are never going to be the same again. You just have to get used to living with it and driving on and pushing on. And um, my father, my granddad, my dad's dad passed when my dad was only, I think, 11 or 12. So I'm after getting them extra 11 or 12 more valuable years than my dad did with his own dad. So I have to be grateful for that. And the lessons dad has taught me, I just have to use them now and bring them forward and, push on with them and kind of go back to, or kind of get used to living kind of with things not going to be the same, but just having to you know, just push on and live with things. Yeah.
Yeah. You obviously had I seen a picture online. Obviously, you had a picture with the current Irish champion, Rudy Farrell, last week at Gerwood. Obviously, him and Matty Boreland obviously fight for the title that you'll be hoping to fight for afterwards. Like, what's your sort of feelings on that fight? Obviously, at Windsor Park in what, just over 5 weeks' time. Like, doesn't matter probably to you who wins. You just want the winner for the Irish title, which you're already mandatory for.
Yeah, look, it was obviously with the way that show panned out, and they lined that fight up for Windsor Park, and the two lads, I can understand it. Like, I was next to the line, but the two lads can sell up all the tickets. It makes sense for them. It makes sense for matchroom to put them two lads on. But yeah, look, we'll see how they get on. See how I get on first. It's kind of a, for me in a way, I would say it's kind of like a step up for me, even though I'm going back to an old foe and Jake Pollard. It's a step up in venue, the professionalism there in the True Arena. It's kind of step up getting used to that. Also, I have to get used to, fighting without my dad in the corner. So just get myself back, keep taking over, see how the lads get on, see how I get on, and then we'll see after that then.
Yeah, it's one of them things, and like I know you're not sort of one of these people that calls people out or anything else. They got fights happen, they happen. If they don't happen, either they're avoiding you or they're looking at different paths. Obviously, I know in particular with Rudy, obviously he's fought quite a lot of domestic fights now, so he'll probably go to the stage where he's going, I've won the belt, I've defended it. If I move on, people can't say that he ducked in some ways. Whereas
Yeah.
Matty, that'll only be his first domestic fight. So if he wins, he will need another domestic fight. So where you don't have an allegiance to go, I fancy him or I fancy him, probably the lay of the land for you is you want to fight someone to win the belt rather than to win a vacant belt.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't. The experience you get in them fights is massive, and the experience from my last one and what I can do to bring what I'm doing to you know learn from that last fight has been massive. So them steps are needed in your career, and just looking forward to my next fight, and then we'll worry about what's after that. Then once I get this done and dusted, and hopefully get a good win.
We've seen you obviously, at different stages, obviously in different fights, but obviously you're on the front foot, you're on the back foot. Like, what do you sort of anticipate this time with Jake Pollard, knowing going in, knowing how he fights? Like, obviously I watched him fight last week, last Saturday night in the Definition, and he dropped Jack O'Neill. He has that sort of about him. Like, I think it was a big long right hand that landed, and he put Jack down. Initially, I thought it was a clash of feet, but I've seen it from a different angle. It looks like it was a punch. So, like, you can't go into this fight with Jake Pollard going, I beat him before, I can beat him again, because that could be your downfall.
That's it. You can never go into a fight like that, and I always am prepared the best I can be, and I never underestimate any opponent. And yeah, with that fight, look, Jack's a good lad as well, but Jake is dangerous. You have to be on your game at all times, and look, I know what I'm working on in training camp, and you'll get to see on the night the kind of the new me, I could say, or the new and improved me. So you get to see that on the night. But as you said, I always have to be cautious, like, because Jake, he dropped Jack last week, and he's, you think he's not dangerous until he is for that split second. So you always have to be on your A game. So I'm hoping to be on my A game in the Tree Arena. Yeah.
He always seems to mix it up as well. Like, you don't seem to know sometimes what you're going to get from Jake Pollard, whether he's going to be on the back foot, moving about the ring, or whether he's going to come in and actually have a fight. And I guess it depends on the opponent. Sometimes I'd probably say that if if someone like Jake Pollard comes in the offensive to you, it's because they know what's coming back if they go defensive. So he probably knows with you that he has to be probably on the front foot as well, because he doesn't want to get in a position where he gets stopped or the referee waves the fight off when they shouldn't be.
Yeah, look, I suppose with Jake and, being as a journeyman, you have to be always looking to push the pace, not to look to be dictated by the other boxer, trying to hold your own in there, trying to push the pace and stuff like that. So, yeah, look, I'm sure that's why he'll have to do what he does. But yeah, we'll see in the night. I'm hoping to control and dictate things myself in there. But look, time will tell on the 5th of September.
I can't wait for it. To like 4 weeks today. Like 4 weeks today, you're probably nearly in the final stages of preparing for fight night. Do you have many tickets left, Paul? Obviously, I know you had quite a hefty chunk of tickets. Do you have many left if anybody's looking for them? I guess in some ways, when it's out in an interview, someone can watch the interview and they go, well, we can't torture Paul because he's got none left. Do you have many left?
Yeah, shoot me a message on Instagram. I have a few tickets left, a handful of tickets, but I might be able to try to get more. So if you're looking for tickets, shoot me a message. I'll do the best I can, and I'll put you on the right path to get tickets as well. And I just want to say a big shout out to my sponsors, Unit 3 in Kildare, Unit Recovery, Midlands Real Estate, my brother Kevin's business, Elite Blacktop Civil, Fergie's Bar, and the Brewery Tap in Tullamore, and Brian McMahon, who's been a huge help to me over the last 5 fights. So yeah, there's my sponsors, and I'll hopefully have a T-shirt with all my sponsors on them for the night, so we can get them in for the next interview.
Definitely. Well, Paul, look, it's always great to get a catch up. Obviously, can't wait. Obviously, 4 weeks today. Obviously, you'll walk for the sixth time to the ring as a pro in the 3 Arena. Thanks as always for your time. I hope the next couple of weeks of camp go well for you, and we'll see you in fight week for the 3 Arena.
Yeah, Stephen, thanks so much. I really appreciate you for having me on. I just want to say thank you to everyone as well that has bought tickets and for the support over the last couple of weeks through the hard times. And yeah, looking forward to a cracker of a night for all the gang down here from Pulla, Tullamore, the Offaly area. It's going to be a great night in the Tree Arena.
Definitely, Paul. Thanks for your time, and I'll speak with you soon.
Yeah, thanks very much, Steve.
Cheers, mate. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye bye. Bye bye.